and consultants, those of you who are in the building phase and making this transition from full-time employee to entrepreneur. So today we are talking about how to build a marketing strategy, and specifically for those of you who are online coaches, right? So we will not be talking about offline strategies. That is not my area of expertise. And so I want you to understand, what does it look like to be able to dominate in this online space? So many people are confused, and let's try to clear some of that up ASAP, okay? Here's the first thing that I want you to understand. Marketing is about attracting the right people as much as it is about repelling the wrong ones. Sometimes we let fear keep us from the second part of that, which is repelling people, right? But the key is, if you're marketing correctly, you should actually be attracting more of the right people and less of the wrong people, okay? And the other thing about this is that there's lots of different ways to do this. There is no one way. There are lots of different ways. There are organic marketing strategies, which simply means non-paid. And then there are paid marketing strategies, which are, Facebook ads or Instagram ads or Google ads, okay? The key here is that you have to understand going in, right? Going in, that you have to market. And you're either going to market with your time using organic strategies, or you're going to market with your money using paid strategies. But if you do not commit to one or the other, your business will fail. Okay? So many of the entrepreneurs that I serve, coaches and consultants, have no marketing budget, or are inconsistent in their marketing, or try something for 7 days. None of that. We're not committing to that. What we are committing to is organic or paid or both. Okay? But what is non-negotiable is marketing itself. Okay? The thing that I want you to be able to do is focus on alignment with both your lifestyle and your avatar, right? So if you work a 9 to 5 and you got kids, et cetera, then organic is probably not going to be your best strategy. Why? Because organic takes more time, period, right? But if you happen to be maybe a full-time entrepreneur and you can dedicate more time to marketing, you can afford to do organic. May not want to, okay, because it is time, but you can make that choice. The key is alignment. One, with your lifestyle and the amount of time that you have, but then second, with your avatar, okay? And let's break down what we mean by avatar. Here are the three things that I want you to think about. Our first W here that you see is, where is your customer at? Okay, now let me just preface this by saying, if you don't know who your ideal client is, if you are not 100% sure of who your ideal client is, don't start here. Don't start building out a marketing strategy when you are half clear, half not. Why? Because you will not attract who you want to attract. Okay, do the work of identifying your ideal client and then come back to this video. Okay, no need to waste your time or energy. All right, so let's just say you are clear. You know exactly who your dream client is. So our first one is, where is your customer early in their journey becoming a coach? I personally do not think you need to be on multiple platforms. Multiple platforms is a lot of work, and it will breed inconsistency. And most importantly, it's not necessary for great money. Why? Because there are 2 billion people on Facebook. You ain't tapped into 100 of them. So why do we need to be on LinkedIn and Instagram and? Okay? Now you can do that if you want. And if you have support, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a long-term goal, not an immediate goal. But I digress. Our first W is, where are they at? Pick one platform. The second W is saying, okay, well, what type of content do they consume? Okay, one of the things that you have to be able to do is listen, let me get my lips together. Stop the scroll. Okay, just because you're posting content, doing Facebook Lives, or whatever it is that you're doing, does not mean that people are actually engaged or watching your content. You have to understand how to stop the scroll. And part of how you do that is understanding your avatar and the type of content they consume. Do they like Facebook Lives? Do they like short-term Facebook Lives? Long-term, meaning 10 minutes or 45 minutes? Or are they more virtual summits, right? They like to be able to attend virtual summits. Maybe they're more podcasters. The point is, get clear about what type of content your ideal client likes to consume, okay? Because you will need to learn how to stop the scroll, not just post content. Okay, that's our second W. Here's our third W before we even get into the meat and potatoes of your strategy. This is all a part of the strategy, but these first three are kind of the surface ones. This third W is what problems or desires does your ideal client have? Okay, your content is based on one of two things: problems or desires. That's it. Sometimes we make it more complicated and we try to get all fancy. And I suppose that there is a time and place for that. But at the end of the day, if you do not drill down into the problem and the desire, then you are wasting your time on social. Okay. So those are the first three things that I want you to think about. Here's the next step. After you've gotten clear on those three things, then you need to build out a plan around the next three things, right? So marketing strategies, just like anything else, have multiple steps to them in order for them to be effective. If you try to shortcut the process, you will feel that in your results. Okay. All right. So our first L that we have here is lead capture. Marketing is about capturing leads. All of our businesses need leads. Okay. You need to have a steady flow of people who are leads. Okay. A lead is just someone who is interested in what it is that you do. Okay. So you have to develop a plan around capturing the lead, right? That can be connected to our second W of what type of content do they consume, right? But at the end of the day, capturing the lead is not just them engaging in the Facebook Live. It's you taking them off the platform and collecting their phone number, email, whatever contact information. Marketing has to do with you exchanging value for contact information, right? If you're not exchanging contact information, it's really not true marketing, right? So you putting up a billboard is fantastic, but you're probably not exchanging contact information. So that really makes it more advertising than it is marketing. Okay, so be sure that you have a way to capture people's information, because Facebook or whatever platform you're using will not always be around. It will not always be convenient, and you need to have a way to be able to contact your leads. Okay, so our first one is lead capture. The second one is, okay, I've captured the lead. Now I need to nurture the lead. Okay, what's my process for nurturing the lead? Now, here's one tip that I will give you. Facebook Lives are great for lead nurture. Now, a lot of times we're using them to actually sell, and that's okay. You can make money from a Facebook Live, right? But depending on your price point, depending on your audience, depending on your consistency, there are lots of things to consider here. It is a phenomenal way to nurture your leads. Okay, so you need to identify what, in as a part of my marketing strategy, how will I nurture my leads? So it could be via email, which we should all be using, could be via Facebook Lives, could be via Messenger, all these different choices that we have. Remember, your goal is to get clear about the one that you will begin with, get good at that one, and then add another layer. Okay? So that's our second L. Our last L is conversion, right? The goal of our marketing is to actually get clients, right? It's not just awareness, although awareness can be a part of your campaign or a part of your strategy. But at the end of the day, our marketing strategy is designed to convert people from potential customers to paying clients. Okay. So you need to understand your process for converting the lead that you brought in step one, right? So maybe I did a virtual summit, for example, where I captured their name and email, right? And then I nurtured them through my email list, and I nurtured them through the virtual summit itself. And then the question becomes, at what point do I ask for the sale? And if I am going to ask for the sale, am I going to give them a link? Am I going to get on a sales call? Like, there are lots of different ways to do every single one of these. But these are the key ingredients to your marketing strategy. All of them are necessary. Okay? So don't skip this. Remember, watch the video, take the notes, but most importantly, do the work. Right? And if you are not a marketing expert, I suggest that you get one, because there are lots of things to consider, and the key is alignment. You have to have alignment throughout here. What you don't want is to put on a virtual summit, for example, and your avatar doesn't attend virtual summits, right? You need to understand the first three W's that lead to the second three L's. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Love to hear your feedback, comments, questions below the video. Peace.